this is Ceema, and today I will bring you a new lesson on talking about facial expressions. Well, the expression on people's faces can tell you a lot about what they are thinking and how they are feeling, or the emotions that they are going through. Believe me, one look at a person's face and you can tell what is going on in the inside, right? So if I were to come here and stand like this, you know that I'm very sad, right? But if I come here and I'm all upbeat and I'm really happy, you know that I'm in a really good mood because my face says it all. So today we're going to talk about the different expressions that we will use when we want to convey how a person is feeling based on his or her facial expressions, okay? The first word is beaming. When do I say that a person is beaming? So the other word for beaming, or the other expression for beaming, is to smile from ear to ear. And this expression means nothing but being very happy. So you can say something like, when I got to know that we have a holiday tomorrow, I was beaming, or I was smiling from ear to ear, indicating that I was very happy and it showed on my face because I was beaming, okay? So beaming basically means you are very happy, okay? The next facial expression is called quizzical. Now, another word for quizzical basically means comical, puzzled, or confused. So when a person looks quite funny in the face, or if a person looks quite puzzled or confused, you call that a quizzical expression. So you can say something like, my little daughter had a quizzical expression when she saw that her lunchbox was empty. So maybe your daughter looked very funny because of the expression on her face. Maybe she was a little puzzled or a little confused. So quizzical is an expression used to indicate a look of confusion, or the look of being very puzzled, or the look of the look of being very funny on your face, okay? And the next one is a grin. Well, a grin is more of like a smile, but not a normal smile as in when you are happy or beaming, but a grin can be of two types. So you've got a sheepish grin and you've got a wicked grin, or shall we say a very malicious grin. Now, both these expressions are quite different, okay? A sheepish grin is made when you are embarrassed. So, you fall off the chair, you get up and you're embarrassed, okay? That's a sheepish grin, okay? You're not amused, you're very embarrassed because people are looking at you now. So you give a very sheepish grin. A wicked grin is something you do when you are up to some mischief, or if you have something very bad in mind, okay? You're a very naughty person, you've got something very bad in mind, so you go like, okay? So there's a difference, okay? You have a sheepish grin, which is like an embarrassed grin, and you have a wicked grin, which is like not a very nice thing because you're up to something very naughty, something not very nice, okay? So that's what a grin is all about. And the other facial expression is a winced expression. So when I say I winced, okay, winced is basically used when you are talking about being hurt, either physically or emotionally. Okay, so I can say I winced when someone pinched me. So when someone pinches you, your face goes like this, okay? Ouch! That's a wince, right? That's when you are hurt physically. How do you wince when you are hurt emotionally? Suppose you have a memory of a really bad accident. Okay, I can't really make the face because I've got to really think about something very bad. But when you have a memory of a really bad accident, then you wince on the inside. So you wince emotionally. Okay, so wince is basically a facial expression to talk about being hurt physically in the body or emotionally in your mind. Okay, and the next one is a dirty look. Okay, you have a nice look and you've got a dirty look. What is a dirty look? Well, dirty look basically means that you look in a very angry way. Okay, so you're driving a car, someone cuts you off the road and you give them a dirty look. Okay, or you can also call it looking daggers. So you can say that the driver looked daggers at me because I cut his lane. Or you can say glowered. Or you can also call it glared. I glared at the lady because she wouldn't stop talking loudly. I looked daggers at the driver who always kept cutting me off. Or I gave him a dirty look because he was so annoying. So an angry look is a dirty look. Okay? And the next one is to pout. Well, what is it to pout? A pout is basically, well, some of us naturally have a pout. Okay, so you do that's a pout when you kiss someone. Okay, that kind of an expression is a pout. So when you are unhappy, or when you are expressing your discontent, you're not very happy about something, you kind of sit like this. So when you are angry, when you are not very happy, or you are just very complaining by nature, you always give a pouted expression. Okay, so you can say that the little child pouted when he was asked to eat his veggies or his vegetables. So he was not very happy about being told to eat vegetables. He'd rather have ice cream instead. So pouted is basically an expression to show that you are not very happy, you are kind of in a complaining mode, you are not very content, okay? You are unhappy. And the next one is to be glazed over or a deadpan expression. So there are two different words for this expression, which basically means an expression which is very unfocused or very unseeing. You're not really looking at something. This is an expression that comes on your face when you are overwhelmed with sadness. Okay, so when you are very, very sad. So you're almost numb. You're very numb. So when people are really sad or when people are really high on drugs or alcohol, they have this expression. There's absolutely nothing. You can't, I mean, they're glazed over. It's a deadpan expression, like a zombie, almost like a zombie-like expression. Okay, so you can say something like, the night after the tragedy, the woman sat in her kitchen with a deadpan expression over her face. So she was glazed over, her eyes were glazed over. So she had nothing in her face to show any expression at all. She was very, very sad. Okay, then the next one is a long face. Some people, when they are sad, again, this is another expression to be very sad or very unhappy. So that expression is called having a long face. So I can say something like, what happened to you? Why the long face? In other words, it basically means, what happened to you? Why are you so sad? Why are you not happy? So when you're talking about a long face, you're talking about someone who is really, really sad, or who's really not very happy, who comes down looking like this. Okay, so someone who's very sad has a long face. And the next one is an unreadable expression. I call this, or most people call this, a poker face. You know, this is one of the best expressions, I believe, because this is a very unreadable expression. Someone who has a poker face can lie and get away with it. So people, you know, when you're playing cards, or when, you know, if you are in a profession which requires you to, you know, lie a little bit, it pays a lot when you have an unreadable expression or a poker face. A poker face is a straight face. You can also call it a straight face. When you have an unreadable face, a poker face or a straight face, no one knows what you're thinking. So it is a very deceiving facial expression, because you could be thinking anything. You could be angry and you could still be, you know, hi, what's up? So it's an unreadable face, a poker face, and definitely a very straight face, to make sure that no one knows what's going on in the inside. Okay. The next and the last expression to talk about, you know, what you are feeling, is a dumbfounded expression. What is it to be dumbfounded? When you're dumb, you don't know what to say, you're speechless, right? So dumbfounded is basically an expression when you are speechless. Well, you can say something like, when Jim proposed to her, she was dumbfounded, she was speechless. So your expression wherein you don't know what to say, you're dumbfounded. Okay, well, that's it from me on this lesson on talking about facial expressions. I'm sure you have some more facial expressions that you'd like to talk about. If there are any more, please write into us. I'll be back with some more lessons. Until then, this is me saying goodbye.